Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Now that my two informative videos are done for the day, including some workout footage, including front squats and strict curls. Let me put on my +5 hat of weaponsmithing, work on skilling my crafting a little bit, and let's talk about a couple things. I'm going to talk about myself because you know what? Hasn't been much else of real interest to me unless you guys have seen something that I missed. I haven't seen anything of interest in the last few days going on in the online fitness community, so hell, I'll talk about myself a bit. We'll talk about the strict curls in a minute, but Brittany put up a photo on my Instagram yesterday. Obviously had some filters, and some people are like, oh my god, filters. Oh, he's trying to do this, he's trying to do that. You know the truth of it, guys? Brittany saw me in the half natty lighting in the gym, and when I say half natty lighting, it doesn't mean that I'm trying to claim to be natty. It's stealing Ogus's stuff of lighting sometimes in a gym makes you look, especially when you have a pump, makes you look a lot bigger and leaner than you often see yourself day to day. I mean, we all are aware of that. That's a good way to joke about half natty lighting. I'm not claiming that I'm natty. You guys all know I'm on TRT. You all guys all know I have previously used gear at pretty moderate amounts. I wouldn't say abuse amounts. And that will have some muscle memory and stuff. So no, I would never say, oh, I'm natty, guys. Come on. That's BS. But, you know, she put the filter up because she took the original photo. She took the original photo and she's like, oh, you look too pale in here because I don't tan. I am pretty pale. And so she ran it through a couple filters on her phone, and shot it straight to Instagram from her phone. All right, it didn't go onto the computer or anything else. There was no Photoshop. She ran some filters. When she put the photo up, I was like, oh my God, I don't look like that. So we got a laugh about it and shared it and everything. I shared it over on Facebook. But it kind of raises the question of how much did the filters add? She sent me the other photo, the unedited. It's just cropped. It's just cropped. And I'll flip it in here for you guys. This is what the original looks like. And honestly, this is kind of an interesting point because I had to ask Brittany. A lot of people aren't aware of this. They honestly think that I think that I'm really jacked or huge or something. I don't. I have body dysmorphia. I have my own set of body image disorders. I don't see it. That's one reason I would never bother to get into bodybuilding because I wouldn't be able to enjoy it or see it myself. I don't see my own muscle gains. I don't see my own fat loss in the mirror. I don't see it ever. But Brittany.
Yes, I've noticed it for quite some time now. I think everybody sees themselves differently than objective. We all have our perspectives in our funhouse mirror.
Well, what I was going to say is that when I saw the picture that she took and then I saw the original, I had to look at it and go, I don't look like that. I don't see that in the mirror. So I had to look at her and honestly go, do I actually look like this picture? Because I don't see that day to day. And
I think everybody can relate to that to some degree. They see pictures of themselves, you know, a lot of times it's your friend taking the bad picture or whatever in a group photo, but that's how you look. I mean,
right.
I didn't even use a filter actually. I just cranked up the saturation and dimmed it just a little bit.
Okay, good, because I don't know how
and
all
sharpened,
that works.
You know.
I'm not a photographer.
Okay.
But yeah, that's kind of the point. It's like, you know, for me, when I've said things in the past of, oh man, I'm at this size or that size or whatever, people think I'm giving my personal opinion. I'm not. I don't see it. I don't see it at all. If you guys honestly know what I see when I look in the mirror, I see a guy who weighs about 100 pounds. That's honestly what I see. And we all know I'm well over 200 pounds, but I can't see that in the mirror. That's just not my perception. And that's just the reality of it. So again, kind of the whole point of people say, why don't you ever get involved in bodybuilding? You're a failed bodybuilder or whatever. It's like, I could never be a bodybuilder. Do you guys know why? I can't train and measure my own proportions. I can't see them myself. I don't see the muscle gain. So I would never be able to actually tell if I was making progress or be proportioned or any of that because I just don't see my own muscle growth. And so when I've joked in the past and said other people will call me the monster and all that, and people trolls have run with that, that's what Brittany's dude friends were calling me. I thought it was silly because I don't think I'm that big, and I didn't think I was that big then either. That's just the reality of it. And that's kind of the interesting thing with body dysmorphia, because I see this really affect a lot of guys. I mean, let's be realistic here. Do you guys think if Rich Piana didn't have severe body dysmorphia, probably more extreme than I even have, do you really think he would have abused his body and used all that side enhancement and the amount of drugs he used? No, he wouldn't have. It's because he couldn't see muscle growth in himself. He always thought he was small. And that's the interesting thing with dysmorphias like this. And quite frankly, I think they're crippling. And I think a lot of guys with serious body dysmorphia who do get involved in serious bodybuilding, I think that actually contributes to their massive abuse. I think it contributes to their early deaths. I think it contributes to further damaging their self-esteem. And it's really sad because I've seen it so many times. And a lot of guys who are really good guys, but their body image disorders did not allow them to even enjoy the fruits of their labor. And that's something that we all need to be aware of. And it's the same thing. A lot of you guys out there probably are on the edge of having it and might not even realize it. I can tell you right now, if you sit on the internet and you judge other dudes' muscularity at least once a day, I would normally joke and be like, well, you're gay, dude. I'm not going to joke like that and play with you guys today. Truth is, if that's what you actually do, you probably do that to yourself as well, at least on a subconscious level, and you probably are going to end up developing, or you're at least at serious risk of developing a body image disorder like that also. And you guys know over, like Dom, I guess at Bro Science, made that joke about the day that you join the gym. The day that you join the gym is the day that you will be forever small. And that's said as a joke. That's said as a joke. But, that is the reality of the situation for many people who train really, really hard. And it's very unfortunate that so many people out there do put themselves through so much work, so much obsession, so much dedication to not be able to enjoy it. And for me, that's one reason I have always gravitated more towards strength-oriented stuff. You know why? Those are tangible numbers. All right, a deadlift from a dead stop is a deadlift from a dead stop. A pause bench from a pause on your chest, how do you interpret that? You can try to be subjective and figure out how much did someone bouncing it off their chest out add. Did it add 5 pounds? Did it add 50 pounds? Did it add 100 pounds to the bench? I don't know. You don't know either. Same thing with a bounce off the floor with a deadlift or a half squat. We don't know. But when you're put to the same standard and everyone has to pause bench, everyone has to deadlift off the floor from a dead stop, everyone has to strict press from a dead stop off their chest, we have an objective, quantifiable number. Your self-image isn't going to get in the way. It's not going to distort it. It's something that we can focus on, that we can measure, that we can quantify. And that's one reason I like that. And that's one reason I've enjoyed the strength sports, because I just like lifting heavy. I enjoy training. I actually enjoy lifting weights. I've always enjoyed it since the first day I walked in the gym and did it. But I think for me, I realized over the years training that focusing on performance for someone who does have their own body image disorder, focusing on performance was a better goal for me. It was a better goal for me because it's something I could actually look at, I could compare, I could make it objective, and I could take enjoyment from it. And people say, oh, you don't have the best bodybuilding genetics. I said, that's not it at all. Even if I did, that wouldn't make my body image disorder go away. I still wouldn't be able to see it myself in the mirror. I would have to have other people tell me what muscles need to be brought up. All the time, every workout. I would have to have other people walk me through it, and I would never be able to see it. I'd still be a 100-pound dude standing there. It just is what it is. At least with strength sports, I can see it. Now, back to the other thing. I'm doing strict curls. Yeah, people thought I was joking. I made a post about it the other day on Facebook that, wow, I just realized strict curling is an actual strength standard. There's a number behind it. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to come in and I'm going to do strict curls. And again, there's also a little bit of debate. People are like, man, didn't you say chin-ups and stuff are great for biceps? Chin-ups are great for biceps. They are great for biceps. But for me right now, my training workload for all my other basic lifts is so high that I'm struggling to work in any volume of chin-ups. All right, I'm really struggling to work it into my current program. Whereas in strict curls, they're not really as fatiguing, are they? I do a lot of axial loading exercises. Every single week, I have like 3 days a week dedicated to axial loading exercises. Those are hard to recover from. Curls, they're not. That's fine. That's really easy. So I'm like, there's another lift that I can focus on. And you know what? My biceps will probably grow from that. You know why? Because when I start thinking of a lift as a strength standard lift and I start focusing on performance and technique and form on it, I tend to get a lot better at that exercise. And if I get better at strict curls, my biceps will have to grow. That's reality. That's the real world. They'll probably grow. They'll get bigger. I'll get more proportionate because my biceps are probably my smallest muscle in proportion to my whole body. So hey, that'll be great. And why not? It's now a strength standard. It's got records. It's got everything else. Okay, it's now. We can joke about it all day long, but it's now a competitive strength lift with standards in place, just like the bench press, just like the squat, just like the deadlift, just like the strict press. And so people say, well, that's not a power lift. Yeah, but it used to be, and there's still strength standard charts for it. It is still considered to be a judge of your overall strength. Well, curls are in there now too. Probably the only thing I'm not doing right now in there would be power cleans. And that's only because I really need to hone my technique on those. You know what? I might eventually rotate out my rows for power cleans and do that too. Because I enjoy training for performance. And you know what? Curls now have a strength standard. Curling, strict curls, guys. And the strict curl means your head has to be against the wall, your back has to be against the wall, your knees have to be locked. All right, there's actually rules in place for this. Is now a power lift. It's now a competitive lift. And I don't want to be left out. I don't want to feel like, oh man, I'm really, really weak at this one lift. It's now got strength standards. I might as well do it and focus on it too, because you know what? It doesn't really impede my recovery much. And the upside, stronger biceps are less likely to tear on a deadlift. Kill two birds with one stone. And some people are going to laugh at that. They'll be like, man, Jason's using filters on Instagram. He's doing strict curls now. What's going on here? Don't worry, guys. I don't want anyone to think I'm about to be a bodybuilder or anything. Don't worry about that. Not going to happen. In case there was any doubt. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative. And I will talk to you guys next time.